I guess today I'm thinking about the meaning of my name, which is a number of things, but one is it's the entrance to the seventh path in Native American terms. It's the beginning of the inward path as opposed to the six outer paths of the four cardinal directions and up and down, Father Sky and Mother Earth. And I seem to be deep into the inner world right now. That and I'm sleepy because I have a full tum. I've just finished a big breakfast with my brother-in-law and my adopted brother Jack and my wife Kathleen. So pancakes, eggs. I'm a meat eater, so I've had a lot to eat this morning, for which I'm grateful. But also, my stomach gets full and my eyes get heavy. I like to nap. But today is a new day. I like to look out the window. I'm looking at a white squirrel right now, eating the food my wife puts out. She puts out peanuts in the shell every morning. And the squirrels, the rabbits, and the birds all show up to feast on the food. So right now it's a white squirrel. And I look forward to what everybody has to say today. Bye.
So yes, I really wanted Kisitua to explain your meaning. So I'm happy you did the meaning of your name. And some of us, like when we have a name which the world has given us, which our parents gave us, and then our married names, if we are women, some of us change. And then we have our names from our different people who love us, hopefully not from people who don't love us. Sometimes we have a pen name. Sometimes we have a different name for the way we see our essence, So we have many, many names. There are names that are given if we have a guru, then a guru gives us, or sometimes maybe it is a spirit, the great spirit just reveals a name to us, which I feel is one of the ways in which I think you told us, Kisitua, that you received your name.
Mm-hmm.
So I also feel because a long time ago, when I was writing on Facebook and I was sharing everything that I'm interested in and whatever is my passion, we were in a we were in a social gathering just with a couple of friends who were very close to us. And my husband, who never speaks anything against me, suddenly burst out, I hardly ever go on Facebook, but whenever I go, I see thousands of messages from Meenakshi. She writes too much. And I thought to myself, first of all, I write once in a while, but yes, I share many things. But secondly, he has like 5 friends on Facebook or whatever. So naturally, he thinks I'm writing too much. So it was for me, it was like a cold water thrown at me. And we often think that something that's like that is harsh at a personal level and at an energetic level. But it rippled me out into 20 pages. I created 20 pages on Facebook because I have so many interests. And when I see some of those pages, I find that out of my, let's say 900, 600, I forget whatever little friends I have on Facebook, 10% are on one page, 20%, 5%, 1%. And so I felt so happy that my one little sentence that Praveen said rippled me out into different things that I am. They showed me my layers. They showed me the layers of the people who I interact with. And they showed me that so many of the things which are very dear to me, which I feel are really what makes me tick, are not shared by the people who are in my physical life. And that's why I have really loved what we call social media. because for me, it got rid of any loneliness that I think my soul used to feel in the world. And I'm sorry, I'm speaking a lot, but I want to share one more thing. I think that's important because so many of us are worried about the social media. Betsy and Lilium know that because I shared it in my class yesterday. That when I was young and my mother would sit opposite me, up the whole family, of course, and I was eating, and then suddenly she would say, Meenakshi, do you want some more ghee in your dal? Anjana knows what I'm saying. So I would say, how does my mother know that that's exactly what I was wanting right now? And I would feel what a blessed world I'm in. I mean, if I had all those words, I just felt very nice. Yesterday, I was just talking to my husband, and very shortly after that, I got a message on a YouTube video showing up on my phone about Sadhguru talking about the death, specifically the death of a parent. And as many of you know, my mother-in-law died a few days ago. Now, what is the first thought that comes to our mind when we are thinking, because we are in the privacy mode? Oh my gosh, somebody out there is reading my notes and my privacy has gone. And now they are giving me targeted ads. But instead I said, this is what my mother used to do. She would sense what I wanted and give it to me. And today when she is not there, the universe is giving me what I wanted. And when Praveen said that to our friends, he gave me what I wanted. It allowed me to see how many wonderful people there are in this world. Everyone who's opposite me right now in the Zoom, except for Anjana, who is my cousin's wife, but my cousin. And another way now I'm discovering is my soul sister. I have only known all of you, we have known one another only through social media. So this is the beauty of this universe. So what we are doing, for those of you who came a little late, is we're introducing ourselves to ourselves. Who are you today? That's what we are doing. And of course, as you all know, we are recording the session. So I'm now going to call on the one who has come in as Jenny to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jenny. I'm so glad to be here with everyone. I wanted to talk a little bit about the spelling of my name because it's unusual. I made it up. I spell it Jennye. And the reason I did that, in between 1990 and 1991, I had an awakening and I met my true self, my true essence. And instead of going legally and changing my name through the court system, I added an E to my name and it changed the vibration terrifically. And it's who I became and who I have continued to evolve into. And I see myself as a sprite, as a fairy person, as a light being, a light worker. And I see the world sometimes differently than others. I was reading earlier on Facebook, one of my friends posting about that the virus wasn't real and that it was made up. And in those moments, and the old me would have gotten upset about such things. It doesn't matter if it is or it isn't, because my whole intention every day is to send out light and embrace all with love. And sometimes my little judgment critic inside doesn't want to do that. And then I remember who I am. And I'm just so glad that from the day I added that E to Jenny, that I became comfortable in my own skin. I love who I am And I think when we love who we are, the universe matches us, and our tribe, one by one, joins us because each person exudes that same vibration. And I'm so glad to be part of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's beautiful. You know, also, we have all heard these words, but in a way we can experience them when we listen to one another, that each of us is also an aspect of the one. And we are reflecting something of one another. So as we deeply listen to one another as we are talking, we find little reflections and little ripples happening inside us, I think. What I'm also going to do is whoever wants to go next, if you could either raise your hand or in any way, and then I'll call on you so that I don't call on anyone who doesn't want to speak. Who wants to go next to introduce who you are? No one? Okay, Anjana. Anjana?
Well, first of all, thank you, Meenakshi Gigi, for inviting me to the circle. I'm very, very happy and blessed actually to be here. My name is Anjana, and this name was given to me by my grandfather. In the Hindi language, Anjan is used for kohl, kajal, which is put on in your eye. And it also has a religious meaning to it. Anjani was the mother of Hanuman, which is the monkey god. So it had a dual meaning. And as I started to sort of grow, through my life in India and then come to the US, I found myself sort of entering a life which was full of meaning, because I was building a family, I was building my career, I was living a very full life. But it was only this year that we started to experience a slowdown like we've never experienced before because of the coronavirus. And it is such a natural sort of a slowdown. Never could we have imagined that the whole world actually comes to a standstill. And it's affected all of us in different ways, I feel. For me, till March, I was traveling 80% of the time with my job. I had lost all sense of myself, of my family, of everything, basically. And it was quite, when it stopped, it was abrupt, because all of a sudden this race that you were running in all of a sudden comes to a complete stop, and you're forced to examine what's actually happening around you. And it was almost like the universe was calling me to find myself again, who I was, what my essence was. Kajal, as I was explaining before, is a byproduct of ghee, which is, it's I don't know if you guys know ghee, but it's butter, it's clarified butter. When you burn it, the byproduct of that is the black soot, which often in India we would put around our eyes to, for the benefit actually of the eyes. And I feel like I'm a byproduct of this universe. I'm here to do good, and I need to do something positive with my life. I have to give back. And so this has brought me to actually start sort of a community that builds positive voices and amplifies them and gets them. And many of these individuals that I'm interacting with are not known to the world, but they're doing just super work in their communities and around the world. And I think that these positive voices need to be amplified. So where I'm getting to with my very long story is that there was a complete shutdown for me in March. There was a complete change in the life that I was leading, and it actually manifested in my purpose, which is really to spread positivity in the world. And I think that's why my grandfather gave me this name. I don't think that I recognized why I had been given this name till I actually started to do the work that I am doing now. And it makes me so happy to be giving back and to be involved in a community which is positive and really trying to do good things. I really feel like the world is reset and there's a new time beginning now for people who are trying to do these great positive things for the world. Very touched by Jenny, your story, as well as the one before, because it really highlights that people are evolving, and there was an evolution that happened for many of you ahead of some other people, but everybody is living through an evolution, and we have to support that. So I really believe that with the pandemic, there was a reset to the world, and now we're entering a totally new phase, and that this work actually is supported by the universe going forward. So thank you so much for giving me the time today.
I'm going to ask you one more thing, because remember we were talking about names. A few days ago, I got a paid request or something like that from someone I didn't know the name, but I knew the face. And I said, okay, who's that? And that was Anjana. So Anjana, tell us your new name on Facebook or your Facebook page through which
The
you did this
Facebook
work.
page, so it's called Journey Olive, and Journey is spelled a little bit differently. It's JOURNY. There's an E missing in Journey, and Olive, OLIVE. And the way it manifested was that I've started a vlog where I interview people who are doing a lot of good around the world. It's called The Journey of Life. So Facebook actually propelled me to formulate a name that fit in with the journey of life, and it's Journey Olive, and it's Journey or Life. So it's Journey Olive. But Meenakshi Gigi, it's if you ask me who gave me that name, I gave myself that name through Facebook. It's really a privilege to be doing this work, and I've done a few interviews so far on my blog, and have received really positive feedback. And I feel like if something makes you really happy, you're going in the right direction.
That's very interesting, because recently I'm also studying Kabbalah, and the question that they've posed for us this week is, how do you know you're going on the right path? And you've just given one of the answers, which he, by the way, has said that's not what one of the Kabbalah masters did, but all of us were giving similar kind of answers. But this is exactly the kind of synchronicity that we're all seeing more and more in our lives. Something from here, something from there, and everything is just coming together. Even today, for example, so many people who wrote to me separately, because many people like to be in these groups. And earlier, actually, I used to do a Facebook Live with them. Maybe even today I will in a while. But, it's time. Because of time, not everyone can be there at the same time. And yet, of course, we can do it, and we can meet in so many different ways. So who would like to go next to share what they're doing, who they are today? Okay, Betsy.
Hi, my name is Betsy, and I am Cuban. That's funny because in Cuba there are not many Betsy. I be Juana, Luisa, Rosa, I don't know. But my mom, she was reading a book, and she found that a name, and she say, okay, you are Betsy. And I am glad because it's short. And she want me to name it two names together like Cuba, like for example, Maria Beatriz. So I will probably have a lot of problem writing and spelling my name all my life. And Betsy, I like it. It's so short, and it's five letters, and you know, I am glad my mom decided to put that name. I don't know the meaning, but I love it. And like I feel so identified with you, Angela, right? Yes, because I was traveling a lot too. I've been, I think from I have conscious and I am a little girl, I always felt that we were part of everything bigger than us, and that we were all connected. I always felt that in my life. If I say something different in my life, because I always like felt every day in my life I was part of something, you know, and I was putting my little drop. I always felt that. Actually, at my 18 years old, a friend gave me in Cuba, which it was weird because we didn't have access to those books. He gave me The Alchemist.
Mhm.
And when I read that book, I say, wow, that's what I've been feeling all my life. So it's true. And you know, that opened my vision. Actually, I never thought to leave my country, and after that book I start feeling like, okay, I can live any place in the world and I will be part of what I am, you know. And that's why even when I am very proud to be Cuban, because I think the way I got my education, the way I learned to see equally in other people, because that's something good in my culture, right? That helps me a lot today for what I do and what I vision. And but I was traveling a lot. I dance. I used to work for Zumba company, and so I do exercise and dancing. And I've been in this for 15 years. I danced from like 6 years old, but I started working in this company in 2005. So I've been working 15 years with them. And it was like at the beginning, I just saw my job like I am doing exercise, but then I start looking how you can connect with everybody and create an hour of real present moment, real now for everyone. And that was the way I started evolving my job and mixing with all I've been learning from Reiki and from Kabbalah and from everything I try to read, because I love, even when I was at the university, I studied philosophy, and now I understand how all that I learned in that time is connected with what I am learning now. But all those things were here and here, but here and here wasn't connected enough to put everything out to co-create. Maybe I was doing it. I was doing it in an automatic way, because it doesn't mean that I wasn't doing anything. I was, but I felt in November last year, at some point, I felt like in my life, not my life, the world. Actually, I talked to my kids. I have two kids, 18 and 13. And I say, guys, I feel that everything is going so fast. Like I want to sit down with you, and I can, and I want you to watch this sunset with me, to see this, and we can. It's like even when you do it, you felt that everything was so fast, and I felt the earth going out of the center, like the velocity was so fast, and it was at the point to break, right? I felt like that. I don't know. And I think that was the way the world was going, because when all this pandemic came, it's like, hey, psst, pause. And then you see, wow. And at the beginning, I actually felt something weird, because I said, oh my God, I've been asking God, like, God, I need to stop. I need to stop. I need to stop. I said, okay, God say, here is your stop. I said, but I don't want this way. I don't want to stop the war, no? But I think many people were thinking the same. Many people, we were needed this time to reconnect with ourselves. It was a vibration, like I think it was a common conscious, like everyone were like connecting with that necessity of just pause, to remain the way we were going in the world, right? And that allows me to meet all of you, to have time now by intention. Like I have the intention to make the time for this and to connect with everybody. And then when I know you, all of you, especially Minachi, thank you so much. You are a light, and you are a light in my life, in every single word. You are the best teacher, the best mentor, the best friend I could ask to the world to have. Thank you so much, because through you, I can meet all those amazing people, and my vision of the world and my abilities to do my responsibilities are getting bigger and are interacting with amazing people, and I can learn from everyone, and I can reflect myself in everyone, and everyone can reflect on me. And that's my purpose. Actually, my next projects are to, in my work, in the way I can do it, using my talents, try to help the people in some way, like just to knock the door and say, hey, look inside, and bring that light out. So thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this circle, because for me it's sacred, it's sagrado. Thank you so much.
So actually, if Anjana, and if you all can also post your websites or anything on the chat, because I think it'll be great for you all to meet one another on Facebook, Instagram, etc. And who wants to go next? I'll call on you if you don't say it. No, I won't. William.
I knew you were gonna call on me. Okay, sure. Hi everybody. Okay, my name was given by my mother. Actually, I'm originally from Brazil, by the way. And my first name is actually very uncommon there too, like Betsy said, especially the way that it's written down. It's Lyliam. Usually Lilium is Lillian. And my second name is Regina. So can you hear me?
Yes.
So I think the meaning of my name is the Queen of Innocence. And I think my mother put that name, she says, is because I was such a quiet baby. So, rarely cried. In terms of my life, I guess I can say that in my early years, I was actually very innocent. And it became my second name when I started to grow up, because it gave me strength. I had the strength that I needed, because I moved here, and I actually left my life in Brazil, and I moved to the United States. My first part of my life there, I was very connected with nature. I still am, but I was very incredibly connected with nature. My profession there was marine biology. I was part of my day in direct contact with nature. And that actually made a very incredible impact on me, because I was very happy, very happy. And I moved here, and I guess I left everything there, because I had this incredible call. I always loved to travel, but I had this incredible call that I actually couldn't stay there. And I moved here because I had friends here. And I had to actually start my life from zero. I had to, I was against my parents. I had to support myself here. And I started working in a restaurant business. And after I went to school, and I became a chef, totally different thing from what I was doing before. But actually gave me a different kind of satisfaction, because then I was interacting with people and different backgrounds, and that was a very good learning experience for me. But became a little burden because I never was actually satisfied, because I was missing something. I thought I was thinking that I was missing something in my life, even though I was happy. And then I went to this, I think it's a change, awakening. Everything in my life actually changed, crumbled, because I was living this, the rat wheel, that we live in this world. We kind of cut off. Some of us got cut off on that, and that I became very unhappy with that, and wasn't really making sense for me. And then I had to change my life, and I went to a lot of, things, and then I redirect my life completely. For some reason, I got connected with Menachki, and that was one of the greatest things that happened to me, because I started to know myself and finding out a little bit about the world and things that I never knew. I never could understand why was that I always had that void, even though I had things around me going on for me. I had that void, and I started peeling little by little as I was, researching, because then I had this incredible pool to learn and to discover and to really try to understand what was going on around me and inside of me. And I became on this journey. And as I was discovering, like when I was going up, I could look everywhere, that I never found anything that could connect me into what I know today. And after I started digging into it, all the doors started open, and I started, everywhere I went, something popped out. And then I would go and I discovered something new, and then I discovered something new, and I discovered something new. And it became this wonderful journey that I am today. And I guess that changed my whole perspective and my idea of what I want to do in my life. And I think I'm still putting together what is my purpose. I have an idea, is that one of the purpose that I have in my life, it should be able to help people that are going to the same thing that I went when I started to the awakening, because it was very hard. And at the same time, I didn't have nobody around me that, other than I discovered after, like Menachki. But before that, I never, all my friends, they all was still dormant, and I didn't have that infrastructure, that person around me that could support me, that could actually, help me to discover what I was actually want to, or to be there for me on that whole situation that I'm going through, that could actually make a little more clear for me, or just support me. And I think one of the purpose that I have in life, to be able to help people into that. And that means in many ways. And then I realized that I can actually use, and then I said, oh my gosh, at one point of my life, I said, why I'm learning so much things, and what I'm gonna use this for? I learned this in the past and this, but now it makes sense to me, because I can use everything that I learned and put together and help people in terms of diet, in terms of things that I can do, healing, and then I became, Reiki practitioner, and now I'm, Sujok therapist, and also all my learning biology that I like to, the living green things that I want to work with that too, get where, people, the awareness of, how you can live in a different way on this world, and then it can be healthier. And so my purpose would be help people to be support for people that are going through that process of awakening, that journey that was, for me, was very, hard. But, and then from that point on, I still have things that I'm putting together. So basically that's where I'm at right now. I'm still learning and putting together pieces and being a support for people. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily.
You're welcome.
So who would like to go next about what it is that, who you feel you are? Because I'm thinking also that I was quickly seeing what was the topic that I had posted for today. And as Kisitwa knows and reminds me very often, when you make a plan, then God laughs. And we don't know how he laughs and how she laughs. Maybe she laughs happily, maybe she laughs, oh really, you think that? No, that's not the way it's going to go, or whatever. I have no idea how God laughs. Maybe she laughs the way we do, right? Okay, so I see there's a goddess here and somebody sitting in front of her who would like, well, the two goddesses here. You want to go next, Katie? Yes.
Good morning. I am Katie, and I don't know what to say. Listening to everybody was so cool, and I related, like you said, to a bit of this and a bit of that, and something somebody be like, oh yes, but who am I today? I don't know. In listening to you all, I've been asking myself that question and just realizing that I really, really don't know. And my life has brought me to a space of I'm coming out of a very, very severe lifelong PTSD, and trying to work on not relating to that old person, because I'm coming to understand that that person was only living this script, if you will, of PTSD. I've never, in all of my 58 years, been in a space in my life where I was free enough, happy enough, healed enough that I've been able to answer that question, who am I? Wow. It's like I want to be open and honest and speak. There's so much inside of me that wants to speak. I have so much to say, and yet I can't seem to get it out yet. I don't know how to put all of the things that I've experienced. I've lived the last 10 years kind of locked in silence because of the PTSD, and I couldn't get out, And so now that I'm coming out of it, it's like, what do I have to say? What do I want to say? What matters to say? Because my life has been in chaos, but my heart has always been the Great Awakening, and it's odd how I go through these experiences over the last 10 years of awakening and realize that I'm learning something I already knew, or I am seeing a world starting to develop of what I've carried in my heart. I was with a group, listening to a group speak last night, and they were such profoundly healed beings, if that makes sense. People who you can see them when they've gone through the journey and they've gotten on the other side, and they are just pure light, pure hearted love. You can hear it in their voice, you can see it in their reflection, in all of their words. There's just so much peace and beauty, and not just for self, you know what I mean? It's when we see that we are one part of the whole that it really starts to make sense. And so that's where I'm coming to, is that it's just, who am I that's carried these thoughts and dreams and hopes for a golden age, or, an awakening of humanity? And where do I fit in that? What do I do now? And I don't have those answers, and that today I sit just frustrated with, wow, I want to be doing so much. Life is finally here. You know, I feel like I've been a racehorse locked up, you know, for so many years, something inside, and it's ready to come out. You know, I'm just, I picture, like I said, a racehorse, you know, who's been locked inside the gate, you know, and they're just like, come on, I want to go. I want to live. I want to do these things, you know, now. And the gate's still locked. And I'm just in here going, what do I do? What do I do? And so I'm very grateful for this group, because this is one space. I don't have many spaces where I can speak and people really listen, you know. So I'm really grateful for this space and I don't know if anything made sense. But I still get really self-conscious and uncomfortable, like I said, because I've been mostly silent for 10 years. So when I speak, I tend to get very animated and it just kind of blows out. And then I'm very self-conscious about it. So thank you for providing space and for listening today. I think I'm complete. Thank you.
Katie, that's beautiful what you said, because I was the same. I was very silent for many, many years. And then I came out and started speaking. This also is due to my husband. He's made a lot of changes in my life, who told me you need to speak. And I sometimes tell him, I'm sure you'll regret opening that door. But only difference was I was very happy in my silence. I would be writing things in my mind and etc. But one of the thoughts I had when you were talking, when you talked about the door or the gate that's closed, Katie, that who's going to open it? This is co-creation. The gate is you, and so are all the words. You're the horse. There isn't anything else, and you know that already inside you. I'm just speaking the words in your heart. Would you like to do? Yes. Sorry. You want
And yes, you're right. I'm realizing that up here, and it's still, you know, then you know, figuring out how that works, because I do believe that's what makes perfect sense in everything else that I understand, but it's the how to still I'm working on. So
if I may suggest one thing, because Kisitua, we've written his websites also on the chat. Kisitua, he developed a course called Medicine Reiki, which is with the Cree tradition. The Cree are the First Nations of Canada. And it has a beautiful, what I love about it, that in a very bringing to the physical, all the metaphysical concepts. So how to make your wish into a prayer and let it go into the universe, so the universe can actually give it to you. That's the way I see it, Kisitua. It's very difficult to speak in front of your teacher, but I'm saying it. And then you do a full moon meditations, in which each of your chakras receives what's called a hoop. What the hoop is, only you will know. And that aligns all your chakras into your purpose of life. If you don't know your purpose will become revealed to you by everything that starts happening in your life. I did that for many months, because you do it on every full moon. And it really has been one of the most transformative things in my life. It just brought everything together like that. And very, very healing, because because it's in a circle. The circle meets on Yahoo. So it's not even that we ever knew one another, but we actually learned how to share openly, because when you're sharing like that, you get out of your ego. You don't have to be told to get out of your ego, you just do it. And we watch one another's ceremony, so it takes you out of yourself into the group, so you understand the meaning of oneness. You start seeing that what you are seeing for someone else is what they saw for themselves, and that's so liberating. Or you see that all of you are seeing different points of view, and that makes you more whole, more complete. It was really, it's an amazing thing. Very, very beautiful. It's very high spiritual energy. I really love that a lot. So I would really suggest that you look at that, because Kisitua is a very wonderful guide in many ways. Who would like to go next? And also, maybe you would like to add after this, we'll just have one round of, in one sentence, of why you think we are co-creating. Why do we need to co-create? But Alison, I'd like to hear from you now, please.
Hi, I'm sorry I missed the beginning of the meeting because I'm in India in the monsoon season and I had no power and no internet. So this is a gamble. We might get cut off at any moment, but thank you for letting me be here. Who am I? Well, this is something that I've been working on for the last 60 years. I'm a mother, a grandmother, a writer, a journalist, a filmmaker, and a truth seeker. And I was looking for property in South America to build a healing garden. This is my big dream. I want to build a healing garden because I see there's so many people that have so much need. And I believe the medicinal plants and the traditional ways, the North American traditions, the South American traditions, the Ayurvedic medicines from India, there's just, we've lost our way in so many places. So I want to create a space for people to go to, and I'm a healer. This is a big part of who I am, is a healer. And as much as I try and run away from that, the universe keeps bringing it back to me. So somehow or another, a year and a half ago, I was in Ecuador buying a farm, and something told me, go to India. So I quit the deal. I was going to be $7,000 short. I quit the deal and I decided to come to India to write a book to make up the difference in the money. And for the last 15 months, I've been in India, and it's been quite a journey. I didn't plan on staying here, but I was brought here under a very strong, compelling force that for some reason I had to be in India. And this last 5 months during lockdown, I've been very isolated, but I'm used to a life of isolation because much of my life has been isolated. I'm the black sheep of my family in that my family is all very conservative, and I'm not conservative. I don't belong in my family. I always wondered why I was so different than everybody else. I couldn't understand why I was doing these things and nobody understood me. They all think I'm crazy. And I realized it's just that they're not in the same place that I'm at. And I had to find a new group of people that I could relate to that had the same goals, wishes, and desires as me. My website is Earth One Media. Basically, this is a new website I just put up. It's, when I came to India, I decided, because I have lots of experiences in world travels, I decided to tell my story. And I recorded 30 chapters of a book, 30 chapters of a book in 30 different locations around India. And I did that from end of May until the middle of July last year. Then I just recently, I had to put everything on a dedicated server because I had sensitive material. And I want to create a discussion place because we have so much social media that's so corrupted and there's so much negative energy and things going on there. I wanted to create a place where there was a better atmosphere. So I start the conversation with my chapter, and then the whole idea is for people to join in the conversation. Every time I turn around, the universe is throwing more opportunities at me. I'm not looking for them. I'm just open to what's happening, but I've had a life of grand adventure because I'm willing to go where the universe leads me, and including 6 months in the Amazon jungle studying plant medicine with a shaman, which was an incredible experience. I was participating in ayahuasca ceremonies, and then I spent 6 months working with the shaman and worked as a facilitator, helping in the ceremonies as well. And during that, I learned a lot about the whole connectiveness of humanity. I really had probably the biggest revelation of my life came under a hallucinogenic experience where I drank a plant mixture, ayahuasca vine and chacaruna, and I ended up having such incredible visions that I learned things telepathically. I don't even understand how it happens, but I trust that the universe decided that I needed to learn these things. And I can now identify plants I've never studied in books, but I have this incredible burning passion, and I think there's something I need to do, and I'm just waiting for the next cue, because I've got a collective years of experience and knowledge from my travels, from my experiences, from my research, from my investigations, and literally have, well, 30 chapters was what I documented so far, but I just want people to know truth. And we're so blinded by all this noise in the media. Our critical thinking has been jeopardized through conformity in schools. And it's really important to me that people hear what's going on from an honest perspective, not from a manufactured media perspective. And I've seen this same things, patterns developing in countries all over the world. It's like a nightmare to me to see the same news and the same messages that are being perpetrated. So I'm just a willing person. That's who I am. I'm a person who realizes that I'm being chosen to do things. I don't know what it is, but I'm just following the cues and I'm going along and I'm making, since I landed in Goa in India, I met people that are making nature films, and now I've been offered a contract with the Department of Forestry to make 5 nature films. It's like a dream come true. So literally the opportunities come to me because I'm willing to do it. So that's who I am. I'm just crazy black sheep person. Thank you for having me here though.
It's so great you could come, Alison. You are right now in my home place, because that's where we've just recently bought a house. I wish I was
in
there.
Goa?
Not. Yeah, I have a home there. If you need a place, let me know, by the way, because it's
Well,
there.
I have an amazing apartment that looks over the water.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really, you know what, it's like everything, even this apartment that came to me, everything just comes when I need it. I don't have a job. I don't have money anymore. I sold my house. I sold my car. I gave away all my belongings. I've been living out of a backpack for 5 years. I'm a 60-year-old hippie.
Wow, that's great.
But the experiences that I've had have been so amazing, and the people that I've met along the way and the knowledge that I've accumulated is for me such a gift. And I really believe that I have a responsibility to share that knowledge. So that's what I'm trying to do. And really my dream is to build a healing garden. That's my retirement plan eventually.
So I feel
But I love Goa.
that's beautiful. In a way, I feel when I'm listening to everyone that even though what we feel, we are just talking about ourselves, but the question, why are we co-creating, is not only lurking below the surface, but is also sort of becoming answered, because all of us seem to be having a need to do something. We're all feeling that there needs to be a purpose in life, or we want to do something for the world. We are actually co-creating already. I'm going to just ask if everyone can, in one sentence, because I know it's not easy, but Twitter taught us that if we have something very important to say, we can say it in one sentence. And actually my mother was the master of that. She used to say so many amazing things. She never gave us lectures. I never thought she ever actually taught us anything. And yet she gave us so many tiny little phrases, which till today stand the test of time. So if you had to share something with the world, let's say, because our words are important, and you had to just say it in one sentence, one word, one phrase, can we have a quick round? And I just call on each of you. You can raise your hand if you prefer. I'll have a raise of hands so that you feel comfortable when you're ready. And just say any one thing, because we're coming to the end of this session. So who do I call on first? what is your message for why do we, okay, let me make it simple. You're talking to the world, right? You're talking to the world and you're asking them, you're informing them, why do they need to co-create a world that benefits all beings? Why do we need to do that?
I will go first. Okay, thank you. Great question. One, I believe with all my heart, the whole world, every being has been under a throat chakra imbalance. And by co-creating together, we remember what we have forgotten, that all ancient teachings have told us. We must remember we are not separate, we are one, and together we can do beyond what we could never do alone. And to me, that's what co-creation has called us each. And I heard everybody today tell their story of how their throat chakra has started opening and expanded. And I salute all of us in the world. Thank you.
Who's next? Why do we need to co-create?
I'll actually add to what Jenny just said. For me, I have this burning desire, and I'm always, running around looking to do things. But what I have noticed is when I sit down and I pray and I meditate and I ask the universe to put people in my path to help me accomplish the things that I need to accomplish, the most amazing people come into my life. And even this call that came to me to being on this call today was because of my morning meditation. It really, because I said, I want to be more connected to people that are doing important things, and I want to be more connected to people that have intentions that are pure, because I'm living in a party zone. I live in a place where people come to dance to trance music and take acid and LSD. And there's just not a real healthy thing going on around me sometimes. So not everybody's quite as aware they're medicating themselves, and I'm, eating pure food. So we need to also remember that when we have our goals, we have to be willing to work with the people that are put in our path, and that's how we accomplish them.
Betsy has written a beautiful thing. Betsy, do you want to speak it or shall I read it out? We are all particles of the same whole, and we are all important for the full evolution of our world. Beautiful. Anyone else?
I'll take a stab at it.
Okay.
It's only our judgment that leads us to think there's something wrong with the world.
Beautiful. You didn't say hi, so I don't know if you finished.
Yeah, hi.
Yes. I always feel that, why do we feel that something is wrong with the world? Because in our hearts, we know that something's right. We know what it is. So if it's in the heart, it's real. Actually, what's here is real. What we think we are seeing is not real. It's like the in-breath and the out-breath. What we breathe out, and I'm going to be a little more graphic, when you go to the restroom or everything that you take out, when you shower, what you take out, you will see it because it's leaving you, but it's leaving, it's going away. It's not, it's not, if we say what's real, it's what's lasting, it's not lasting. What's here is lasting. And what we're doing in these circles, and why the reason why I co-created, or we co-created this circle, after all the years of different things that I've done, this is the first time I've made it into a business. And when my students said it should be about you, it should have your name, I said my name will die with me, but this world, this thing should continue. Why do I have to create something else which has my name? Co-Creator Circle, because that's what all of us are actually always doing. We have always been doing it. And I know I used more than one sentence in saying that.
I can go next.
Okay, Anjana.
I feel that there is abundance in this world for everyone, that there is enough in the world for everyone. But much of the world lives with scarcity today. By co-creating, we can actually help to unleash the abundance of the world for all humankind. So it doesn't have to be that only a few of us experience the abundance. It needs to be shared, it needs to be co-created, and we need to bring the whole world along with us in order for all this, the souls that are actually like, it's one big whole, and that wholesomeness can only come if we all work together and co-create. I know it's more than one sentence, but I really feel very strongly that the world has never felt the need for this abundance more than today. This is the moment for a step change in bringing that positivity and that wholesomeness to the world. So this is the right moment for this circle and for this co-creation.
Betsy, you wrote something. Do you want to say it? That's beautiful, Anjana.
No,
I said Betsy because what she's saying is in continuation of what you said.
no, yeah, I was telling you that when you said about the name, that, and I also I was listening to Allison too, because I've been so connected with social media because my job and everything. But at some point, first about the name, yes, you are totally right, Minachi. We to find a name that is not us, because at the end of the day, our name is our vibration, right? It's the vibration of our soul, or our physical the person here in this world, right? It's a way for the people to know who we are in some way, right? In a physical manifestation. And but I decided to put to my project Phoenix. So I am working now to change everything I've been doing to Phoenix, because Phoenix for me, when I was a little girl, my grandma, she read to me all the stories about the Phoenix and how reborn from his cenizas, and you know, and all the things. And I love that name. And because I don't want to be me, I want to be Phoenix all over the world. Like Phoenix for me represent the co-creation. Like everyone has a Phoenix. So, but to be a Phoenix, to co-create, we need to let go something of ourselves, or not let go, transform part of ourselves to evolve to one, to the person who wants to co-create with the rest, right? So that's my point of view. And about the social media, in many aspects, I agree with you, Alison, that's true. And at some point, something happened to me in the pandemic. I used to have 90K followers because my work, and then my account disappeared. Someone just, someone stopped my account, and I had to start from zero again. And but I learned in that point, at some point everybody say like, oh my God, Betsy, you lost all your followers. And I was so in peace with that. And I said, okay, it's fine. Like I am reborning now. So I am rewriting the way I'm going to express myself, and I'm going to communicate with the rest. And I start seeing the social media as a tool. Like, I don't see I don't try to convince anyone. I don't try to, and I think we all see the social media that way. It helps a lot because at the end, we want to create echo, and we want to spread what we are doing to other people, and that's a tool. Like when we see that as a tool, we can be very organic and we can just be real, and the people will follow you would be the people that really want to listen what you have to say. Not everybody, like, and that's amazing how God just cut me my page, and he said, okay, let's start over with another perspective. And now it's totally different for me, how I see everything and how I express, and I use the social media.
I see one thing that all of us, this is also very beautiful to see, that all of us in one way together in that we realize that we are co-creating. But how we are and what the state of the world is today, we differ. And to me, that difference is important because each of us has a slightly different view. Kisitua says there's nothing wrong with the world as it is right now. That just shows that each of us is looking at it from another point of view. And it always reminds me of the story of the elephant and the blind men. And I always feel that there's no situation in this world which any one of us can fully know at every moment of time. But when we talk together, it's like we are circling the situation. If I was alone in the mountain, only in meditation, I could do the whole thing by myself, because then the sages in the mountains, they're like antennas. They can read and share with all of us. But we've been asked to be in this reality, in this realm, where we can see what's okay and we can see what's not okay, what seems not okay to us. And so we try to change what we think is not okay, and we try to keep what we think is okay. As long as we realize that in actual reality, everything is exactly as it's meant to be. So for a minute, if we can close this circle with a gratitude in this way. And this is a lotus we'll create in front of our heart. With the left, silently, we can think of the things that we don't like and we are seeking to change, but we are grateful for them. Because otherwise, what would we do in this world? If we all want to serve and there was nothing to serve, what would we do? So we are grateful for that. And from the right, the things that we like and would like to sustain and which we are grateful for. And so in the end, this is how it will be. You'll think of one, 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 and your petals will keep opening. In the end, when your full gratitude lotus is open, we just share it with the world. Okay? So we'll do this silently. when the gratitude lotus is open in front of our hearts, let us feel that we are receiving everything that we need from this universe and absorb it deeply within yourself. Feel how blessed you are in this universe, how beloved, how this universe has everything to give you that you require. And then when you feel that you're full, let your lotus open and radiate into the world. Thank you. I'm very okay with everyone staying, and I'm very okay with everyone leaving as you like, because of the time of the circle was till 11 on 12. Bye, Katie. Thank you so much. Bye.
I didn't want to say bye. I actually had something I wanted to say to your question about co-create. Why should we co-create?
Yes.
2 brief statements. 1, we're all human, no matter what color skin we're in, or what country or what language, we're all human. And the second point is why we should co-create is because we each have an individual, unique fingerprint.
Beautiful. Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Love out.
Thank you so much, Debbie.
Very nice meeting all of you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to see you guys.
I'm so happy you came.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Actually, today was so special because I wake up, you know, those days you wake up and everything around you is like reverse, 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 reverse. And I said,
stay a while if you can. Sorry, Betsy. Just wanted to tell Alison also. Yeah, I know, Betsy, you had a day. Alison, is it with a? I think we are friends on Facebook, so we are connected, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
I
how
know.
you
I
actually,
remember because you went
that's
to-
how you got a hold of me today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go actually on Facebook, I'm Noni Allison. Noni means grandma because I have 10
remember
grandchildren.
now. I remember your Noni. And no, and
Yeah.
you prefer Noni or Alison when we speak to you?
You know what? I go by both. Like a lot of people started calling me Noni. That's what my grandkids call me. But I'm almost like, I'm like everybody's grandma. So everyone calls me Noni.
I'm older than you.
Noni's also, Noni's a superfood, and I'm like a superfood person. So it's a fitting name for me.
So
Alison, I want to go with you, like this.
You know, I feel so many. I feel Anjana will be talking to you both, I'm very sure, on her channel. And the two of you can do things together. And I'm still saying, Alison, my house in Goa is not in South Goa. See, I mean, it's not in North Goa where all that nonsense goes on. It's in the hills. It's in the
It's
hills.
in where?
It's
Okay.
in the hills, 10 minutes away from the ocean, because I didn't want things to be getting all rusted. And it's in a peaceful place, very peaceful.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
but
actually, I'm in a little fishing village. I'm in Shapura. But and I have a view of the ocean. It's beautiful, my apartment. That's why I stayed here. I thought, how can I leave this place? The universe gave me this amazing apartment.
You're lucky.
So, but you never know what's going to happen tomorrow.